What's up, everybody? Real Rendezvous Podcast coming at you. I'm Hunter. He's Brett.
Hi.
Guys, we're doing things different now. We got a new process, a new, what's a good word for it? A new way that we are doing things.
Yeah, format. New format. Okay, a new structure
that is the word
to the show, to the channel, to the program.
We are going to start to try to make our podcast a little shorter and break things down into 2 separate podcasts per week, right?
Yes. Well, okay, not per week because we can't. We don't do that. But
yeah, you guys know we're not that fast.
Per recording. Per recording.
Yeah. Brett, go ahead and break it down for the people.
All right. So, longtime fans of the show, you know how we do things around here. We can say that. We've been doing this for 3 fucking years now. You know that?
Yeah, we're awesome.
Isn't it? Or it might be 2. 2 or 3.
I mean, who's counting, really?
No, it is 3 because we started in 21, didn't we?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. January of 21 was the first episode. It was Sonic. Check your records on that. check the minutes for 3 years ago's meeting.
Okay, the first thing I have written in my book is our Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark review, which I know was not the first one. That was not the
first one.
But
either way, right. Either way, we've been doing it long enough that I'll say long-time listeners. But you know the format. We come on here, we give our preamble, which usually includes some pop culture updates in the sphere, and then we move on and we review a movie and or discuss a topic. And that usually leaves us with about episodes that are about 2-ish hours long.
Yeah, roughly.
And that was fine. That was working okay. But, you know, that's a lot to take on. It's a little intimidating for new viewers to come on and see these huge-ass episodes. And we have received some feedback, which we love feedback. Keep that up.
Yes.
But we have received feedback in the comments on YouTube that, you know, some people are just there for the review. You know, they don't care about what anything else is going on. They want to know what 2 dudes think of this movie that they might be thinking about watching.
You know, and that's understandable.
Yeah, which is completely fine. So to remedy the situation and make everyone happier, we are splitting, as Hunter said, the show into 2 shows. Mm-hmm. So we will have this, which is our news and update corner, thusly called the Real RendezNEWS.
I like it.
Yeah, I came up with that one myself.
Very creative.
And then separately will be a movie review and or topic of discussion. So that's how things are now. So now instead of one, 2-hour long mega thing that you got to split up and click through to find, the parts you care about, you get 2, 45-ish minute long episodes just about the topics you want to hear about. So hopefully this works out better in the long run for everyone. People who are there for the movie reviews don't got to deal with the preamble, and people who maybe there are some people out there who just like the news.
Right.
You don't got to skip half the video. You don't have to leave half the watch time on the table.
Yeah, we'd rather just stick around for the whole thing, but I digress. No, I like the idea. There is a podcast that I like to listen to called In Madness Podcast. Shout out Sean and Vertebrae 33. They started out with a big long podcast like how we do, and it's all just a review. But what they do is they just break down their review into 2 separate episodes, and they're each an hour long. Mm-hmm. So like recently they reviewed a movie. They reviewed The Crow, actually, ironically enough, recently. And they broke it down into 2 episodes. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited for the new format. Hope it'll work out.
Yeah, shorter episodes is something that Hunter has been wanting for a very long time. But just the format of the show and what we set out to accomplish when we went into this just didn't really lend itself to brevity.
I think in general, podcasters... maybe anybody else out there that has a podcast can give me their opinion, but I just think in general, people try to keep them shorter, but they are never as short as what they want them to be. Unless you are really good at limiting yourself.
Yeah, which we are absolutely not.
Well, I think most people record podcasts with their friends. And so that's why you get extended conversation, which is good. And at the end of the day, we're here for ourselves, not just everybody else.
Oh yeah, we're here to have fun, but we do want to make the user experience a bit cleaner, a bit more concise.
Right.
And I think this change is definitely one that's going to aid in that. Also, shout out to Kaylee, who suggested this years ago, like immediately after we started. And for some reason, I don't know, it was me. It was my fault because it was brought to me pretty much immediately. Hey, why don't you just do 2 shows, news, review? And I don't know. For some reason, I was just so hogtied to the idea of just one big thing. And I don't have a reason for that. I can't justify it now. It made sense at the time in my head, but...
Well, you know, we always end up having trouble getting together, and which we did. That's something that's my fault. The reason we're literally coming up on a month, basically. We're over a month giving you a podcast because last time we planned to record, I was ill. I was sick. Me and my wife and my dog. If one of us has something, we all get it. So we all were down for the count for a week. So, and that happened to be the week me and Brett planned to get together, of course. But anyways, I'm excited to move forward with this.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
So, starting off here with our RendezNEWS.
Our real RendezNEWS.
That does roll right off the tongue.
Doesn't it?
Real RendezNEWS.
Yeah, well, because VOOS.
Yeah, VOOS.
Yeah, for anyone that needed it broken down, here's where the name came from.
So the first thing that we're going to talk about, Brett is really pumped up about. Brett's a big Venom guy.
Yes, I love the Venom movie so much. Have we ever? We definitely have, because we talk about Tom Hardy a lot. So I have definitely...
Shout out Tom Hardy.
Shout out Tom Hardy. I've definitely at some point brought up my love for the Venom movies.
I'm sure you have. I enjoy them. I don't think they're... I think a lot of people talk about them like they're the worst things of all time. Are they taking home any Oscars? No. I don't think they're terrible, though. I mean,
the Venom movies are junk food movies.
There is for sure
and
enjoyment defined in them. So they're not a popcorn flick. Would you call them like a Twinkie flick?
I know. I'd call them popcorn. Popcorn's junk food.
Really?
I would consider it's just butter and salt.
Yeah, but that doesn't define junk food. Junk food's like...
Butter is like the defining factor of...
Well, you put like butter on a frying pan to like make some chicken.
Okay, well, yeah, but it's not just like you're not eating the butter straight up. That's like dipping... Popcorn is like...
Well, you're not eating the butter straight up whenever you put it on your popcorn.
Some people are. Some places.
People came
you can get it like that.
People came to listen to us argue about the definition of butter.
Guys, sound off in the comments below. Is popcorn a junk food?
That's a good question, really. We are asking the questions people want to know.
I'm putting a poll up on Twitter tonight.
I know what I'm voting for. Anyways, Venom 3, The Last Dance.
Yes, we got a trailer. So I was talking about this with I think I made a tweet about it or something.
I remember what I wanted to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. Talk about Venom.
I made a tweet about how they'll give us like trailers and stills from movies that are like years off.
Yeah.
But then movies that come out in like a couple months have like radio silence. And Venom 3 was one of those movies for a really long time. Venom 3 comes out in October, and we just now got a trailer. Whereas we already have merch from Captain America, which doesn't come out till next year.
Yeah, I wonder why they were sitting on it like that.
Which, granted, Captain America got delayed, right? Captain America was supposed to be this year, but it got delayed. But still, we had so much more stuff from a movie years off. And then, like, you guys like that beard scratch ASMR? I don't know if that came across.
Sounded satisfying.
But I was joking about it, and then, like, and Venom 3 is the movie that I was talking about in that tweet when I said that. And then, like, a week later, the trailer drops.
Yeah.
So, you're welcome, America.
Yeah. Ask and you shall receive,
I brought you the Venom 3 Last Dance trailer. And it's great. I think it's a damn good trailer.
What is your favorite things about this trailer?
Well, my favorite thing about the trailer is definitely everybody's favorite thing about the trailer, which is the fucking Venom horse.
That is like the most ridiculous thing.
So sick, man.
Yeah, it does look cool.
I just love when they just don't care.
Well, that's something I was telling...
Don't give a shit, and it is amazing.
That's something I was telling Brett that I like about the Venom franchise is the first one was kind of afraid to lean into any cheese. And I think the second one, which I know isn't the popular opinion, I think the second one's a little bit better than the first movie, only because I think it embraces humor a little bit more. And this third movie looks like it's angling towards that hard.
I think the first one had the inklings of cheese. All right, the first one had a little seep of cheese, but it was a little scared to fully commit to it.
There was cheese seepage.
There was some cheese seepage in the cracks of Venom.
That sounds so nasty. Ugh. Venom cheese seepage. It sounds like a metal band.
It's the name of this episode.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But no, they were dipping their toes in the camp, right? And then people loved it. That was one of the things. Venom, the first Venom is one of those movies that I see people that either love it or hate it. I don't see anyone neutral on Venom 1. All right, they either think it's dog shit or they love it and they see what it's going for and they truly embrace it.
Right.
And I'm one of those people. So I thought it was great even to begin with, but then Venom 2 came out and they were like, all right, we got them. they know what to expect now. Let's crank it up. And I think Venom 2 being a better movie than Venom 1 is a popular opinion. I think most people feel that way. I personally just have
I think maybe in the Venom crowd it's like that. Like some of the outward, like some of the movie podcasts that I've listened to, these are guys that would kind of just rather not watch any of the Venom movies, but they would prefer the first one.
Yeah. I think the second one is a better movie, but I just have a soft spot in my heart for the first Venom movie because when it got announced, I followed its development so closely. I was so excited for it. And that was one of the first movies I really did that with. Like from announcement to release, I was like every piece of news that was coming out about Venom, I was like, I gotta have it. I need it now. And then when that first trailer for Venom 1 came out and then it showed off his final look, I was over the moon. And then, excuse me. And then I ended up seeing it with Dad and loved it. So I just have a soft spot for Venom 1. But then Venom 2, also great. Woody Harrelson is so fucking funny. Yeah,
I think he really adds a lot of flavor and
the action in Venom 2 is amazing.
Well, something I think the first Venom did lack is I think the bad guy was pretty forgettable in the first Venom.
Oh yeah.
And you get a better actor, a better character to latch on to with Venom 2 and Woody Harrelson. I don't really know where they're going with this third one as far as the bad guy. Who is it?
It appears that it's going to be Toxin.
Okay, Toxin.
So the cop from Venom 2 at the end of that movie gets infected with Toxin. And then now I think the main bad guy is actually just like that big fucking monster he was fighting.
Really?
That thing is called shit. I don't know what it's called. It has a name and I knew it at one point. It's from the comics. It's a alien creature that eats symbiotes.
Okay, nobody's going to judge you for not knowing that offhand.
Guys, I'm so sorry.
Do not fret.
Please keep... No. Don't click away. I'm sorry. I'll look it up. I promise. But I do think Toxin is going to be a major antagonistic force.
Okay. Man, you worded that well.
I know. I'm full of them.
You're killing it right now.
But Venom Horse is like... That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Venom Horse.
There's a horse that gets the symbiote.
Also, in true Sony fashion, we have no fucking idea what universe this movie takes place in. Because in No Way Home, Venom is in the MCU.
Yeah.
At that bar. Yeah. And then he gets teleported away and he leaves a little bit of symbiote behind. But now in the trailer, we see that same bar. And the guy who played Mordo in Doctor Strange is also in this movie as a different guy. But he's at that bar and then he captures that little piece of symbiote.
Right.
So it's like, what's that about? Also, Riz Ahmed is here as probably not the Lizard, but a different guy. Again.
Riz Ahmed. Was he the bad guy in the first one?
Holy shit. Yes, he was. I'm so sorry. Riz Ahmed played Carlton Drake in the first movie.
Yeah, that's right.
The guy who plays...
True Venom fan over here, pal.
Yes. The guy who played the Lizard's name is Riz Ifan, I think.
Reese
Ifan?
Reese Ifans.
Reese Ifans. Thank you.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
That sounds better than what I said.
He's like Welsh or something.
Yeah. Well, he is in this movie but with both of his arms. So it's like, is he the lizard?
Yeah.
Is he not? What's going on?
Yeah. No, you're right. No, it's kind of
Because they did the same shit with the Morbius trailer.
Yeah, that's a
where
Sony
they
thing,
put where they put Raimi Spider-Man in some graffiti, but then the Vulture shows up.
They're just trying to throw whatever
right?
they can against the wall and see what sticks. You know, I like that approach. That's how I am every day. So, but yeah, I'm excited about Venom. I'll go see it for sure.
Yes, Venom: Last Dance. That is, I think I already said that comes out in October.
Yeah,
because it was supposed to. Because it got delayed, didn't it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I think Venom.
I was just saying I'm a true Venom fan. I don't know.
I think it got delayed because I thought Craven was supposed to be October. Then it got moved to December, and I think Venom was earlier and then got moved into Craven's spot. But I could be talking on my ass. I don't know.
That's what we like to do here. So Venom, pumped up about that.
What's the thing you remembered so you don't lose it?
Trailers that we're excited about. Mm-hmm. So Alien Romulus dropped another trailer. And let me tell you, I already kind of blew this movie whenever the first teaser trailer dropped. And let me tell you right now, I have not been this excited for a movie probably since the Force Awakens trailer back in like 2015 or 2016, whenever that was. This trailer had it all, man. It has all these little homages to the original Alien and Aliens. I think Fede Alvarez has such a flair for visual like violence and graphic content, and I love him for that. We were just talking earlier today about Fede Alvarez. He would be really good at making a Doom movie. Mm-hmm. We'll get to that later, but about Doom, that is. I don't really know.
Not
what
here,
else.
we won't.
No, you're right. I don't really know what else to say about this movie other than I just can't wait. I think it comes out in August.
I was gonna ask, when is that?
Yeah. It looks like it's got, like I said, it's got homages to the original movies, but it still looks like it's kind of doing its own thing. Mm-hmm. And
I love that behind the scenes video they posted of the practical RC.
How scary is that thing?
Yeah, right.
Oh man,
I just know they were having a blast with that, just fucking with people,
dude. So we didn't really get to talk about the trailer in depth. Like, what about that scene where like that dude's in the water and the face hugger like is like it's got like a little like I don't know, a little wiener trying to get in his mouth or something. It's like,
did you see the new poster they dropped alongside that trailer?
I probably did, but
where it's the full washed out red, but it's just like the face hugger on the guy.
Oh yeah, it looks so tough.
Someone on Twitter made the comparison. I don't know if you remember that like Apple TV movie with Tom Holland. It was like called Cherry.
Yes. Yeah.
So that trailer is just Tom Holland's face with the same like washed out red look. And like it's very similar to the one with the face hugger on it. And someone put them side by side and they were like, they fucking got him. Yeah.
The aliens got Tom Holland. Yeah, and then like you said, with like the remote control face hugger, there's at the very end of the trailer, there's a sequence that looks a lot like Alien 3 whenever the xenomorph is like screaming in the girl's ear. And it's all practical. Mm-hmm. Like it's somebody in a suit with like the projectile tongue sticking out and shit. Like, I'm so excited for this movie, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, I will be very surprised if this movie sucks.
Yeah, I will too, as will I. I will lose all faith in humanity. I will hope xenomorphs rain down on us all if this movie sucks.
They're going to see it. They're going to see it from space and they're like, no, we've been misrepresented.
Yeah, that's what they'll do. They'll have to come line us out.
They're like, you guys were on thin fucking ice with Prometheus.
Hey, whoa. Prometheus truther over here. I genuinely, I think I like every movie in the Alien franchise. There's not one that I'm just like, it sucks. Now, I haven't seen AVP or AVP Requiem. I've heard Requiem is one of the worst movies of all time.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. But anyways, Alien Romulus comes out in August. My ass will be seated for that.
He'll be two-seated.
Yeah.
The theater employees are scared. They're saying he has to leave because it's not August yet, but he's simply two-seated.
I might go tomorrow and sit and wait till it comes out.
Did you see that tweet?
No.
That was not tweet. That was a comment from I don't know how to say her last name, and it makes me feel so bad because I love her. But Ayo Itibiri.
Okay.
She commented that on I think it was the new Hunger Games. It was a movie that she was excited for. She commented that. She said the theater employees are scared and asking me to leave because it's not August yet, but I'm simply too seated.
That's awesome.
Shout out Ayo Itibiri, if I'm saying your name right.
I share the sentiment there.
Oh, he didn't even want to try it. He was scared.
No.
He's a pussy.
I backed down big time. I'm not going after that one. I've already said about 1,000 times. I'm not about to trip and fall on my face over pronouncing that name. Moving forward here, there was another trailer that came out very close to our last review.
Yes, this one we've been sitting on for a minute.
Yeah, so
much so that I almost thought that we had talked about it already.
Yeah, maybe we mentioned it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, if we already talked about this in the last episode, pretend that we didn't.
Deal with it,
and we'll talk about it again.
Just deal with it. Transformers 1.
Yes.
Animated movie.
I'm very excited for this one. When it first was announced and it was like going through the classic, movie gets announced and then as details come out, they get drip fed to us. I was like, okay, animated Transformers movies coming out. That's fine. I like that it's animated. I love it when properties that are meant to be animated remain animated for their big screen performances. There are some people that like think live action versions of things like shouldn't exist. I'm not one of those people, but it is nice to just like have an animated thing be animated sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. With that.
So that was already off the bat. I was like, that's cool. And then the voice cast started coming out, and I was a little iffier on it. So for Transformers 1, we have an all new voice cast, people who have never taken on these characters before, as far as I'm aware. But we have Chris Hemsworth as Optimus Prime, which is his name. He's not actually Optimus Prime yet because it's a prequel film. But Chris Hemsworth as Optimus Prime, Brian Tyree Henry as Megatron, who I love Brian Tyree Henry. I think he's great.
You are a big...
I am. Shout out Brian Tyree Henry.
BTH fan.
Actually, we were just talking before we started recording, me and Hunter, about I think it was 2019 Child's Play remake thing. Yeah. He's in that.
Oh, is he really?
He's pretty good. He's got some really funny moments. And then, of course, all of the MonsterVerse stuff, and then Bullet Train. He's Megatron. And then Keegan-Michael Key as Bumblebee. And then I still can't remember who voices RC. And I'm so sorry for that. But I'm sure it's fine.
Everybody will forgive you.
But then no, Hunter, they hate me. I'm bad at my job. But we finally got a trailer a few weeks ago. And I think it looks really fun. I think it looks really solid. And when that voice cast was announced, I was like, I wasn't like, they're going to suck. But I was like, that's interesting choices for those characters. But I think they sound great. I think Chris Hemsworth sounds really good. I think Brian Tyree Henry really surprised me, right? Because just like from what I could think of his voice in my head, I was like, fucking Megatron?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Isn't he British? Doesn't he have a British accent, Brian Tyree Henry?
I don't know.
Okay.
Natively, maybe, but like in the stuff he's been in, no. He's usually got an American.
He doesn't in Bullet Train?
No, I don't think so. Aaron Taylor Johnson does, but I don't think Brian Tyree Henry does, if I'm remembering correctly.
He might not.
Actually, no, scratch that. He absolutely does in Bullet Train.
I thought I was right.
But I don't know which I don't know which of the two is his native accent.
Regardless, though, to bounce back to it being a prequel, I think that lends itself to making things better, having these people voicing these characters.
Yes. It makes a lot more sense because they are younger, a lot younger.
Right.
This is like, they're like early 20s, late teens maybe in this movie.
Transformers is one of those properties that I've never been super into, but always thought it was really cool. Like,
oh yeah, giant fucking robots, man.
Yeah, like giant, like
easy layup.
Robots are awesome inherently,
which is crazy. Why it's so hard for them to just like make a decent movie half the time.
Well, everybody liked Bumblebee, right?
Bumblebee was fantastic.
I did not.
Bumblebee
see it.
Is great.
I did not see it. I heard it was good.
And the first Transformers movie in 2007 is definitely a product of its time, but it's still a fun watch.
Yeah.
But then,
see, I think Michael Bay. Granted, he's got some bad misses, but I think Michael Bay actually is a pretty decent.
He cooks
director.
sometimes, man.
Yeah,
sometimes he cooks.
He is a great action director, in my opinion.
Yeah, like people make fun of him for the explosions. Explosions are cool, man.
Yeah, I don't
It's
care what
cool
they
to
look
watch
like.
shit blow up.
Yep, 100%.
But no, Transformers 1 looks really fun. I think it's sort of like a Journey to the Center of the Earth type adventure movie, it seems.
I love a good adventure.
They're like on the run, and then they end up, because they're worker robots, but they're defecting to try and find like a higher calling, and it looks like they're going through some pretty cool locations. I think it's going to be cool to see a side of these characters that I don't think we've explored too much. Maybe in some of the video games, possibly. Like the War for Cybertron games. I think those are set around the same time period this movie is, but don't quote me on that. I'm not a diehard on the Transformer front. But I think it looks fun. I'm excited for it.
Me too. When does that come out? Ask you too quick.
I actually don't know. Maybe September?
Well, I'll tell you what, while we're figuring that out.
Either September or October.
While we're figuring that out, I'm going to tell you what's not going to be coming out in September or October. The Blade movie.
Fucking Blade, man.
So how about that Blade movie, huh?
So, guys, I'm actually trying to think back if we have talked about the previous developments of this movie. We have at least once. I don't know how many steps along the way we've actually covered. But for those of you who are unaware, Disney, way back at like 2 D23s ago or something like that, announced that they were adding a standalone Blade movie to the MCU, right?
Yeah.
Following up the Wesley Snipes trilogy, brand new, set in their MCU, helmed by Mahershala Ali. Great fucking choice for that character.
Yeah.
And for some reason, nobody in charge knows how to make this movie good. It has been stuck in development hell since it was announced, with constant rewrites. It has lost, and why we're talking about it right now, why we're talking about it today, it has lost its second director. So it was originally set to be helmed in the director's seat by...
Should have had that ready to go, pal.
I should have wrote it down. I know it. It's Bossum. It's Bossum something. And he left. Shout out Bossum. Bossum might be his last name. But he's, there's nothing I can tell you that he's done that is super, that we would know about. He did a short film in 2019, and that's like his highest billed credit for his stuff. Which, to be given Blade after that, like, he must have had like a pretty good pitch. Mm-hmm. But apparently not good enough, because he left the project. He was dropped from it. Then they had this new guy whose name I know but can't remember how to pronounce. And it doesn't matter, though, because he just left too. So we've now lost our second director, and the script is now being reworked by the guy who wrote Black Widow, which doesn't inspire a ton of confidence.
Much confidence.
But he also has been working on Fantastic Four, which looks like it's turning out great. But I just cannot fathom how fucking hard it could be to make a badass movie about Mahershala Ali killing vampires.
Yeah,
I like.
It really does blow your mind.
I wish I knew what the holdup was. They made 2 Captain Marvels, and they can't figure out Blade.
There's been,
and that's not a dig at Captain Marvel as a character. Those movies, I like those movies a lot. I'm just saying, like, there's so much more to like try and figure out with those. Blade is literally just badass guy kills vampires with sword.
Yeah, according to IMDb, there has been 6 separate writers attached to Blade.
Yes, so
not
just
counting the newest one.
Just constant script reworks and changes, constant losses of director, constant chatter behind the scenes of creative conflicts. I don't trust MCU Twitter scoopers that much, because they're usually all wrong and just lying. But I saw one of the more notable ones tweet out that it might be on the table to just can the movie. They would rather just cancel the fucking movie than make a cool vampire action movie. Like, huh?
You know why?
I just don't get it.
You know why they want to just give up on it? Because they know they'll never make anything as good as Wesley Snipes' Blade. Which,
granted, that may be the case. And if
that's
it does,
definitely not the case.
And if it does get canned, I really, really, really hope someone that has been involved with it comes to light and just lays it all out on the table what the fucking deal is.
Well, there's got to be
with
something.
This movie.
There's got to be something going on because this is the MCU. If anybody knows how to produce at a high level,
yeah, it's them.
Yeah,
like I said, 2 Captain Marvels. I really like Eternals.
Yeah,
but like as characters, I mean, just like they had someone on the team that figured that shit out.
Right.
But no one in their catalog can make fucking Blade work out. It just like of all movies to have this many issues, Blade is one that I think should be such an easy slam dunk for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just don't get it.
I mean, it could also be partially a product due to maybe they want to wait around and see what the outcome is from Deadpool and Wolverine as far as an R-rated MCU film.
That is true. I do remember...
It's a different brand of rated R, though.
Yeah.
And
I do remember... one thing I remember hearing way back when the problems first started was that like the original draft of the script had Blade as a secondary character, which is fucking mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, if they want to do that shit, they go ahead and they can can that.
And I also think it's funny that it's kind of messing up their plan that they've set. And again, like going back to Eternals, Blade is technically in Eternals. In the Eternals post-credit scene where Kit Harington finds the sword that will eventually make him the Black Knight, the voice we hear off screen is Mahershala Ali as Blade.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes, that's him.
Wow, that's awesome.
And... which, granted, who fucking cares about Eternals? No one liked that. I love Eternals, by the way. I'm a huge Eternals defender. I think that movie is fantastic. But it did not do well in any front. Critics hated it. Didn't do that well at the box office. So I think they're just trying to ignore it for the most part because it has not... They left a giant fucking monster in the ocean and they're just ignoring that completely.
Yeah, we'll just forget about this. I can't swim.
But... yeah, it's just it's so crazy to me how many problems this fucking Blade movie is having with such a like I'm waiting for the announcement that he's leaving.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the announcement that Mahershala Ali is removing himself from the project.
Yeah,
that really only feels like the natural next step.
I've always been a huge fan of the Wesley Snipes Blade trilogy. The original movie is like one of the first really violent movies I can remember watching when I was young, and I know I was just saying how like they would can it because they can't produce anything that would compare, but I love the character and I would really like to see another Blade movie.
I know
I'll be pretty sad if there's not another one.
At this point, the Blade game that is slated for 2026 or something is gonna reach us before this fucking movie does.
Yeah, which that game looks tight.
Oh, well, I mean, it was just a single cinematic, but
it looked
the
tight.
idea of a Blade game is tight as fuck. Someone I saw a tweet today actually that said Mahershala Ali seen on red carpet for Blade premiere, and it was him edited to be like super fucking old.
It was like a deep fake of him like being old ass. Yeah,
so
Blade,
maybe one day we'll see the Blade movie.
We'll see where it goes, man. You want to talk about The Boys real quick?
Yeah, I'll jump into The Boys. So this is the part of the news where I talk about some stuff that I've seen that Hunter has not.
Yeah, well, we're usually due for at least one of those per episode.
Well, normally you have like at least one thing that you've engaged in to bring to the table.
Yeah,
but I have 3. And you have none.
Well, I mean, I can tell you, I recently started watching The X-Files for the first time.
That's fun.
It's cool. Okay.
Is it pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's cool. Keep going with your whatever you were talking about.
The Boys, Amazon's moneymaker.
Their flagship.
Thank you. That's a good word. But season 4 has premiered. Mm-hmm. We waited, not actually that long, but it always feels long because The Boys is so fucking good. Guys, I think we've mentioned The Boys a few times on here.
How long has it been since the last season?
About a year, I think.
A year?
I think they do about a year between seasons because season 1 came out in 2019.
This is season 4, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I saw something the other day saying that this is going to be the last season.
No.
5
is going to be the last season. So we have this season to finish out, then about a year and a half wait or so, and then season 5, and that's the cutoff. Okay. Which, guys, take notes. When you make anything, a show, movie, have a story planned out with an ending and then just let it go.
Yeah.
So very, very, because I will say, and this is something all boys fans will tell you and share the sentiment, we're starting to drag a little bit.
Yeah, I saw somebody else post online. Maybe it was something that you had reposted on Twitter, but they were happy. It was the best news that they had heard that it was going to end by season 5. Is ending.
Not because it's a bad show, not because we don't want more, but we just don't need it. We're getting to a point where this needs to wrap up with a clean ending, and we'll all be satisfied.
You don't want that Game of Thrones type shit. No,
we do not.
It's so good and is held in such high regard for so long, but the people want to keep making money, so they keep pumping it out whenever it really should have already ended.
Yep.
People get stale on it.
Yep. You know? So season 4 has started with a 3-episode premiere, which I love. So Amazon does the weekly release. And there's debate between weekly release or full drop binge model.
I like a weekly release too. That's my preferred.
I like a weekly release too. We can all sit here and say like, oh, I want all of it at once, so I can just have all of it. But the weekly release model really, it just works, right? Because it gives you time to marinate on the episodes.
Yeah, I agree.
The episode drops.
That's how you build hype.
Yes, and then people are talking about the episode for that week until their next one comes out, and then the cycle continues till the season's over. Dad prefers a binge model. Dad wants it all, so he can just get it through in like 2 days and then say that he has vaguely enjoyed it.
And that's crazy to me because from his time period, you would think he preferred to be able to like tune in on Sunday night or whatever.
Yeah, I like the weekly release. Just for the community, because it's and there have been studies done, right? Like shows that release with the binge model do not like stay as relevant as shows that release weekly. There's a huge fall off in viewers with the binge model as opposed to the weekly model.
Really?
So numbers to back it up. But I think what the boys did for this season is kind of a nice middle ground, right? So it's going to be an 8-episode season. But for the premiere, we got 3 episodes.
Okay.
So they dropped a 3-episode premiere, and then the next 5 episodes are going to be weekly. And it's a great start. It's they don't miss, right? Like the boys, they know what they're fucking doing.
I've never seen anybody complain about it.
No, because it's great. Three great seasons. I didn't assume 4 was going to be any different. Gen V, the spinoff show, also fucking great.
Is it?
The creative team they have on these things is definitely probably some of the best creative teams working right now.
Yeah.
Like they do not miss. So excited for the rest of the season to follow through. We just gotta fucking kill this guy already. so tired of Homeland. But that being said, shout out Anthony Starr. Fucking phenomenal in this role.
Has he been in anything else relevant? Because I really haven't seen anything.
The Boys is the only thing I know him from. Right. I'm sure he has other stuff under his belt because and if he doesn't, that's insane because the talent this man has. Unless he's only good at playing home, that'd be really funny if he was only good at playing Homelander, and if you tried to put him in anything else, it wouldn't work.
He is such a memeable character. I feel like there's Homelander memes for everything.
Oh yeah, dude. But and I think this season is giving him even more room to stretch his legs with it, right? Which he's already been doing, but now it's taking it even further. The point that Homelander's character is at, mentally and emotionally in this season, is completely rock bottom, unhinged. Nothing's off the table. His mind, there's a moment in the end of episode 3 where he is speaking to all aspects of himself in a cracked mirror, and it is masterful.
Yeah,
Anthony Starr is
flexes his muscles.
Yes, we need to get him in more stuff. You looked it up and then put your phone back down without saying anything, so I'm going to assume that he has.
I just looked within the last couple years, but just some random episodes here and there, some shows that I've never watched. So.
Yeah, so maybe they picked up a gem, which honestly most of the boys cast is kind of picking up gems. I've never heard of the guy who plays Frenchie. I didn't know anything about Jack Quaid.
Yeah,
before. The boys.
Jack Quaid's starting to climb up there.
Yeah, and he's great. Yeah. He's great. The casting directors on it. I'm saying, the entire creative team for all of the boys related stuff over at Amazon
have hit a home run.
Top notch shit going on over there. So check out The Boys season 4. If you haven't checked out seasons 1 through 3, give them a watch, get your ass caught up, and then we can go from there.
I'll get into him eventually.
Yeah, Hunter has watched season 1 and nothing else.
I didn't even watch all of season 1.
God damn it, dude.
I've watched like 4 episodes maybe.
My goodness.
I liked it too. Me and Alyssa watched it and we did enjoy it. We just I just didn't stick to it. So here trailing towards the end, we're going to segue just slightly into some video game news here.
Yes.
Brett is a one-man wrecking crew. He's fighting this war.
I am fighting the good fight.
Yes. Brett, you want to talk to the people about Sly Cooper?
Yes, I do. Fellow citizens, we need your help. For years, Sly Cooper has been without a home in this country. And that needs to change now. And you, dear viewer, are the ones that are going to make that happen. So Sly Cooper is a franchise that is very near and dear to my heart. It is my favorite video game franchise of all time. It is the reason I play video games today. And they're just damn good games. For those who don't know, we've talked about it on the show before. I've definitely mentioned it. Sorry. I had 2 thoughts that wanted to come out simultaneously.
One at a time.
Yeah. Single file, guys. And now I've lost both of them. But Sly Cooper means a lot to me. The entire branding of this show is because of Sly Cooper.
I was going to say the inspiration for our title.
The inspiration from the title.
The word rendezvous.
The font used on the logo is literally the Sly Cooper font that they use for some of the major subtitles in a lot of the games. But it's a franchise that has been sitting dormant for 13 fucking years. It's a PS2 classic. The first 3 games released on PS2, developed by Sucker Punch, with a 4th title released in 2013 by Sanzaru Games. And since 2013, we have gotten nothing.
Yeah.
Crumbs. All right? Because Sony went on their big hyper-realism action game kick with Uncharted and The Last of Us, which are great games.
Yeah.
But for a very long time, 3D platformers just did not have a space in the industry anymore. And luckily, it seems like that's starting to change. All right. So, as part of their Days of Play movement, Sony has decided to re-release the PS2 version of Sly 1 for purchase on your PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 to be played natively. Up until this point, the only way, you could play any of the Sly Cooper games was via streaming, which sucks. Maybe some people have better luck with it, but it has never worked well for me. It wasn't a good way to play those games. So the best way you could play those games was on the PS3. But not a lot of people still had PS3s because they were upgrading over the years to a 4 and then most recently to a 5. But now Sly 1 is playable natively on PS5 for $10. And I genuinely, fully, wholeheartedly believe that maybe not even just like to test the waters for Sly, but just to test the waters to see if there is a market for 3D action platformers anymore in today's gaming space. Because on top of releasing Sly 1 as part of their PlayStation Classics catalog, a fully from the ground up brand new Astrobot game is releasing at retail, right? So the first Astrobot game was a 3D platformer that was exclusive to the PSVR. It was a VR game.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the first Astrobot game was a VR game, but not like a first-person one. It was one of those... There was a weird subgenre of VR that was sort of just like spectator VR games. So you just played a regular video game, but with the headset on, and you just kind of like looked down at your character. So you were just kind of like an omniscient being watching your little guy.
Okay.
There were a few games like that, Astrobot being one of them, and then there was one that like starred a mouse as the main character. It was a weird time for VR. It was sort of like in its infancy.
They were still checking things out.
And then when the PS5 launched, they had a free, like very substantial, it's like a 30, 40 hour game. Excuse me. With tons of collectibles, and it was Astro's Playroom, which if you have a PS5, you can play that game right now.
Brett's already pushed for me to play this.
It's great. It is so good, man. Dude, I think it's pronounced Team Asobi. They're the people behind Astrobot. They know how to make a game, man. And they know how to make a 3D platformer that is fun and inventive, great level design, great mechanics, and just gorgeous.
Yeah.
So pretty. Well, they have a new one, and this one, no gimmicks, no free software, $60 upfront price, full 80-hour campaign, lots of collectibles, 3D platformer in the year of our Lord, 2024.
Yeah.
So
we're hoping for a rejuvenation.
We're hoping and praying for a little bit more than crumbs this time around. So guys, you know, so many people always complain that the gaming industry is just shooters and gritty third-person action realism games. And there's still a place for that, all right? I love those games.
Right.
Put your fucking money where your mouths are. Buy Astrobot. Buy Sly 1. And let's let Sony know that we're here and we still want those things on our shelves.
Hey, I did my part.
He did. Hunter did his part.
One today.
I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna as soon as I'm getting my money up specifically so I can pre-order Astrobot.
Hell yeah.
Who Sly has a cameo appearance in.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I did not know.
A lot of
is that what your profile picture is?
Yes.
Okay.
So the Astrobot games are also like just celebrations of PlayStation's legacy.
Okay.
Right. So all the collectibles in Astro's Playroom are PlayStation paraphernalia, and it has a model viewer, and then like little guys in costumes dressed as PlayStation characters scattered around the levels. Mm-hmm. But in this one, they're like costumes now. So like you save their little avatar in the different worlds, and then you can wear that costume. So like we'll be able to dress up as Jack.
That's
and
cool.
Ratchet and Sly and Kratos and Eco and the kid from The Last Guardian and Snake probably. So yeah, great games. Please check them out. That was it. That was my political spiel. We need you. Please donate to the 3D platformer relief fund.
Yeah.
Give that raccoon a home again.
This advertisement endorsed by Brett Prickett.
This message is brought to you by the Real RendezNEWS, a subsidiary of the Real Rendezvous Corporation.
All right. I have one last little gaming news that I think we should touch base on because it's relevant. Mm-hmm. About 3 days ago, a new trailer came out for the next Doom game. It comes out in 2025. This game is titled Doom: The Dark Ages. I've talked recently about how I've gotten super into dark fantasy, and I've been rewatching the Lord of the Rings movies, and this is right up. And I love the Doom franchise. This is right up my alley. This game looks awesome.
So fucking sick.
Did you notice at the beginning of that trailer it said in-game footage?
Did it?
Yes.
I did not notice that. I thought it was CG.
It says right at the bottom of it.
Yo.
Yeah. So I don't really know the entire aspect of where this is, how it takes place in Doom Eternal and Doom 2016's universe.
We do know that it's a prequel.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Yes, we do know that. That is confirmed.
Well, yeah. Before he was the Doom Slayer, he was the protector. What does it say at the beginning of the preamble? Is like the protector of kings and men or something like that. Gods and kings. Anyways, this game is basically like dark fantasy Doom. You still have a super shotgun, but it looks super medieval. There's a sequence in the trailer where he's got like a flail instead of like the meat hook. He has a chainsaw shield.
Yes,
which is you didn't know you needed it till you get it. And then when you see it, it's insane.
There's a gun that grinds up skulls and shoots the shrapnel as ammunition.
Doesn't get harder than that.
Like dude. What? Who's thinking of that?
Whoever came up with that. Have you ever seen the video of like the dude on the airplane? It's like, I just want to shake your hand. I want to shake his hand. Yeah. I'm just trying to shake his hand.
Yeah.
That's me and the dude that came up with the skull bone machine gun. Like, that's what I didn't know I needed it till I got it.
Yeah, the Doom team at Bethesda, just like the Amazon Boys team, they do not miss.
Yeah.
Doom 2016 was fantastic, and Doom Eternal is also fantastic. Full disclosure, I have not finished it, but still, just the polish on display and the level design, it's just fun, man. Rip and tear until it is through.
Yeah, the Doom franchise, it was always known as the grandfather of the shooter. And I think now it's safe to say it's unheraldedly one of the probably top 3 to 5 like shooter franchises.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I'd say top 3.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even say 3 to 5. Okay. I would say top 3 for sure.
Well, you have a lot of people that just, you have your online multiplayer game franchises that rule the roost, but the true ones know Doom is number one. But anyways, that game looks awesome.
Like, when people say boomer shooter, or when like an indie game is a boomer shooter, it's Doom.
It's a Doom.
It's always Doom.
Yeah.
I actually played through all of Doom 64 on my. So when I got Doom Eternal, I got the deluxe edition, and it came with a free copy of Doom 64.
Oh, that's so badass, man. It
was so fun.
Yeah.
Like even the older ones, like it's just. And then of course the meme of anything can run Doom.
Yeah. I love.
I'm actually playing Doom on the recorder right now.
That's awesome. I love everything about Doom. As I've said several times on this podcast, I'm super into heavy metal, and it's just like you're not going to get a more heavy metal oriented franchise in gaming than Doom. So super pumped.
Did that like heavy metal rhythm shooter ever come out? Did you play that?
I never did.
I remember I told you about it, but I don't know if it's released yet. I don't know if that happened yet.
That kind of surprises me too, because I remember whenever you first brought that to my attention, some of the names attached to it from like actual heavy metal bands were pretty big names. I'm pretty sure Randy Bly from Lamb of God was on that game. And there was a couple other names too. I think Elisa Glues from Arch Enemy. Like it was cool.
I'll have to look into that. I'll have to see if that came out or not. Because that game looked fucking sick.
Yeah, that did look.
I thought that was neat.
I've never been into rhythm shooters, but I could probably get into one that's based around heavy metal. So, anyways, Brett.
Yeah, I think that wraps up. Did you have anything else?
No, I think that concludes our RendezNEWS.
That concludes the inaugural, in quotes, episode of the Real RendezNEWS. So I'll go ahead and get you guys out of here. I'll wrap you up with some socials. If you'd like to follow us anywhere, you can do so at Real Rendezvous, all one word, spelled as it always is. So that's going to be your major players, our YouTube, our Twitter, and our Instagram. And
if you already follow us, tell somebody else.
Tell someone. Yeah, if you already follow us, tell someone else to follow us. Shoot us a tweet. Give us suggestions. Send us news. If you see something pretty substantial, tag us in it. You know, if you think we don't miss a ton, but we might.
Yeah.
You know, just to make sure that it's there, tag us in it, and we'll make sure to get it covered in the next episode.
And if we do know about it, we'll give you our opinion on it.
We'll give you our. If one thing
That's what we're here for.
If one thing is constant, you will get our opinions on stuff.
All right, I think that's pretty much it.
Alrighty then.
Later, guys.
Bye, guys.